Dick Cheney recently said that he would rather be respected in the world than loved. Well, thanks to the antics of the last 8 years, the former administration, we have neither in the world. We have neither love or respect. And even those who supported George Bush and continue to do so know in your heart that I am right. You know, I was greatly saddened by what happened with 9/11. It was a terrible tragedy. It was the most profound sadness that I have known in my life, because before my very eyes, I was watching all of those people die. It was a terrible thing. And going out to Ground Zero a short time after that, I could feel the spirits of all those who had passed in that, and it was positively dreadful. As time went on, I watched the President of the United States and the Vice President push through bills that allowed for extreme measures like torture. I don't think torturing innocent people makes us better as a nation. The information that they got for all the torturing that they did was very little, and it's been proven over time that torture is an ineffective means of getting information. You know, my father took great pride in the fact that this country was not like the Nazis or the Japanese in using torture against people. You know, Benito Mussolini defined fascism as the merging of corporate and state powers, and by that definition and the acts of certain neoconservatives, there is indeed a fascist element in this country that is alive and growing. And on the other side of that too, with a lot of the political correctness and the activities of certain jackboot liberals, you know, we have issues there, especially with the nanny state. Those of us who really are free spirits at heart don't wish to have the government monitoring everything that we do. It's wrong. And in your heart, you know I'm right. That is taking a position of arrogance, saying that the American people are too stupid to run their own affairs. And with all the joking put aside about red states versus blue, I still have faith in the basic goodness of people. You know, and that's a hard thing to do when you look at somebody like Karl Rove in offensive arrogance, refusing to appear before Congress once he's subpoenaed. He worked for the executive branch, and in the spirit of checks and balances, he certainly should have been there. Now, I know that the money changers are in the temple, and I have heard what a lot of the conspiracy theorists say, and I've listened to all sides of that argument. You know, there are things that we can do as Americans that will make us less dependent on corporations. We are almost totally, as a majority, dependent on corporations for our food. If we grow our own, we will certainly push ourselves away from a lot of that. Make room, have a little victory garden in your backyard if you have one. You know, window boxes are good for growing herbs. Anything that will help you just reduce the percentage of dependency that you have. You know, drive less, spend more time with your family and friends. You know, make your home the centerpiece of activities in your social life. I mean, that's something that my relatives in Sweden have long done. It's a very effective way to save money. You know, a meal that's prepared by a loved one or a friend is far more tasty than something you can get in a restaurant. You can resist things that come along if they push for a national ID card or, You know, those chips that they're talking about that they, you know, may or may not implant in people. I don't know about any of those things, you know, and in all honesty, you know, with these rumor mongers and prophets of doom out there going on and on, they tell you about what's wrong in the world, but not what's right and what you can do about things. We still have the capacity to dream. We still keep hope alive in our hearts. We'll be alright. I think that people need to put less faith in politicians. I realize that Barack Obama made a lot of promises to the American people, and time will tell if he has the stuff to do miraculous things, those things that people expect of him. But so far, with his choice of Geithner and this thing dealing with privacy and basically giving George Bush a pardon on all of his activities with bugging people, the jury is still out. But individually, we do have the power to make things better in our lives. If you start with one basic thing, one basic good change in your life for the better, the effects of that will ripple outward, and you continue to make those ripples. And I hold this in my heart. I know the American spirit. I know it well. And I think that people will survive the gathering storm if they hold on to hope. My name is Joost Lundberg. I'm a poet and performance artist. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful life. Bye now.